smoke. Talk to 'em. We want the smoke. We want the smoke. Come on, Charlie.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. HD, back with another episode of the Blunt Ratings. And this time we are doing the Blunt Ratings for the entire WrestleMania card. So strap in. We got about 15, 16 matches to rate, talk about. We're going to be here for like an hour, man. It's going to be a good show because, damn it, it was a good WrestleMania. Man, hold on, my mic, I'm using the wrong mic. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on, let me get this right. My sound probably trash. Probably like, what the hell is that? Real quick, boom, there we go. All right, we got good sound now. Sorry about that. All right, yeah, so the WrestleMania was fucking fire this year. There were very few bad parts or parts where I was like, oh, this is terrible. I can't watch this. What is this? The pre-shows were too long. Pre-shows were definitely 2-hour pre-shows, both nights with no matches to speak about. Like, that didn't really make any sense. Could have had U.S. title match. Could have had, a bunch of matches you could have had. Fuck. Or just make shorter pre-shows, one or the other. But that's neither here or there. Let's get into rating these matches because we got a lot of them. KGM was cracking, fam. Let's get into rating these matches, man. We gonna start with the most disappointing match of the weekend, and not because of anything that the wrestlers did, but because there was an injury. Shinsuke Nakamura and Bugs teaming up to go up against the Usos, the Tribal Chiefs' cousins. This match was good until Bugs tried to do like some kind of suplex or press or something with both Usos on his back. He had Jay on, I think, and when Jimmy tried to jump on top of Jay so they could do the move, like his leg gave away. Apparently blew his quad out. He got the Triple H, the Vince McMahon injury. Ironically, both those guys were on the show the next night, but he blew out his quad. So get well soon, because that's going to be a tough, tough comeback. Obviously, quad injuries, torn quads take up to 6-9 months to get back from. KGM thought it was just selling. Yeah, I thought it was. Me too. I thought it was a complete work. I didn't. Even when the match was over, I thought it was just a work, and that's how they were getting the Usos to keep the belts until they start talking about it later on commentary. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. That match, unfortunately, because of what happened, I can't fairly give it a rating. So I'm gonna just give it, an NA at this point. Just because, the match probably could have been better. Obviously, it would have been better. And they didn't get to do what they were supposed to do. So I can't really judge those guys in that situation. They did the best they could with the circumstances. Moving on to Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. This match was fire. The wrestling was fire. The Madcap's interference, I guess it kind of goes with the storyline. He was trying to help Corbin by telling him to get on Drew. It's like that's what he's doing. Shut the fuck up. Get off the ring apron. But Drew ended up winning the match with a Claymore. He kicked out of an End of Days too. That was first time that ever happened. I thought this match was great. It was a great way. It was it felt more like the openers after what happened to the Usos and Nakamura. So it was it was a match worth watching, I'd say. Probably turned out better than a lot of people. I don't want to say that because both of these guys are great in the ring. I just think not many people were looking forward to it, and it turned out to be a pretty damn good match. They were both intense as hell. Drew came out pissed off, obviously, because you talked about his dead mama and all that crazy stuff. I gave the match 3.5 blunts. I think that's a fair score. And the show only went up from there. So next, we'll discuss the Mysterios going up against Logan Paul and The Miz. What the fuck? Why are all these celebrities coming into wrestling? The wrestlers are going to literally not be able to use you can't do what we do. This is different. Well, apparently they can. Apparently anyone can. Apparently musicians and other athletes from other sport, YouTubers and commentators, NFL kickers, like the least respected position in the other sport, they come and thrive at the WWE. This match was fire, bro. Even watching it back the second time, I'm like, yo, Logan Paul is really, really good. Like he plays into the heel thing so perfectly. That's why what happened at the end of the match didn't make any sense, especially hearing what they might be doing. But that would be crazy. But Logan Paul, like he was just his strut, and he's tall as hell, so he looks like a wrestler. I mean, because he's like looks like he's about 6'4" or some shit. You know what I mean? So he's tall, already look in great shape. Got the look of somebody who would be a wrestler. You know what I mean? He's like. So it worked, and his cocky ass attitude in between his moves kind of gave him time to think about what he was gonna do next. Like everything was chef's kiss. He did the fucking Three Amigos like disrespectfully to Rey Mysterio, and then hit a perfectly executed frog splash off the top rope after doing the Eddie Guerrero shimmy. It was great heel work. Him and The Miz did a phenomenal job. Shout out to The Miz, man. I said it on the show. Like, that's why I fuck with The Miz. I fuck with The Miz because I watched The Miz on The Real World before I ever knew he was going to be what he is. I think everybody who my age watched that season of The Real World. It was the first season, if I'm not mistaken. The first or second season. And I think it wasn't the first season. It was like the second or third season. But Miz was on there, and I'm going to be champion of WWE. And he became champion. Like, I just fuck with that story and watch it, like literally watching people go out and accomplish their dreams. That shit is awesome. And Miz just continues to perform every year, man. Every single year. You think that he's not gonna have something that's entertaining, or you know what I mean? It's like the man knows what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? KGM said he knows how to sports entertain. Yes, he does. He's there for a reason. You know what I mean? He's the safe wrestler for a reason. Daniel Bryan might not respect it, but damn it, I respect it. Like, there's all different types of pro wrestling, and we needed the shit that we got this weekend because AEW is probably not going to give us a lot of the stuff that we got this weekend, or they're just not going to be able to execute it as well because they're not a sports entertainment company, unless Chris Jericho's doing it. Yeah, I gave this match Mysterio's versus Logan Paul. Mysterio's did end up taking the L, which none of us chose, but I think probably the right call after the match. They were celebrating, Logan Paul and Miz were celebrating, and then Miz turned on Logan Paul and gave him a skull crusher finale. I didn't understand what was happening. Then the Miz started cheering with the crowd and like hyping up with the crowd. I'm like, is the Miz about to turn babyface on Logan Paul? Like, why? He brought him. What? None of that shit made any sense. So I don't know what they're doing. I guess we'll find out on Raw tonight, and we'll see, because I'm assuming Logan's going to be on Raw. Probably just did it so him and Miz could have a one-on-one match on Raw tonight or something. Maybe at WrestleMania Backlash or Payback, whatever the fuck the pay-per-view is coming up. Yeah, I don't know. I love the match, though. I gave the match 4 blunts. Logan Paul was hella impressive. Yeah, nobody likes him. I think his brother is worse. His brother is absolutely worse. Like, Jake Paul he's a scumbag. He just seemed, everything about that dude is just like, yeah, I'd be like, yo, let's have a boxing match. And then I hit him in the head with a lead pipe. You know what I mean? Like, I dislike him like that. Like, he's just annoying, man. Some people is just like douchebag for no reason. But his brother is like, he used to be that guy, but now he's a little older, a little more wiser. Now he's, they both understand what they're doing. Like, I don't know no, they're dickheads in real life. But, I think Logan's a little more mature at this point. He's made a lot of mistakes and had to overcome them. So, yeah, we'll see what happens tonight on Monday Night Raw. But I thought that the match was pretty good, man. Really good, I should say. And then we had what I deemed to be the match of night 1. It was close. It was a close call between the next couple matches I'm going to talk about. But this match was, as she used to say, straight fire. Because Becky Lynch went up against Bianca Belair. First of all, the entrance is chef's kiss. Becky had like her entrance almost looked like our news entrance. How we have the stinger, the pictures coming, you know what I mean? Kind of look like that style from the news entrance that you see watching physics. And then we had Bianca had the marching band come out and played her theme song. before it actually dropped. That shit was fire. But then, yeah, they got to the match, man, and these motherfuckers tried to hurt each other. It was aggressive. First of all, Becky's haircut. She looks like a fucking rock star. Bianca's gear was fire. Like, they look great. You know what I mean? Came out to great entrances and then had a great 20-something minute match. With a lot of back and forth. Becky was getting frustrated because she couldn't take Bianca out. And Bianca did ultimately end up getting the win when Becky was on the top rope and Bianca grabbed her off and threw her up in the KOD and nailed her. And got the 1, 2, 3. The crowd popped. It was crazy. Bianca was happy. Everybody went home. Not went home, but everybody, went to concession happy at that moment because, Bianca finally got her comeuppance after losing in 26 seconds. I like how they started the match because it started hot and it looked like Becky was about to do it again, or maybe Bianca was about to beat her in 20, 30 seconds. Like, it looked like they was trying to end the match quick. I was like, oh, they ain't about to do that, right? And no, it was just part of the story. So this match was fired. If you're going to watch any match from night one, no, you got to watch it. You got to watch multiple matches for night one. This ain't the type of WrestleMania where go watch this one match. No, wasn't that WrestleMania. This wasn't your pandemic's WrestleMania, baby. This was one worth watching, 100% both nights. So yeah, I gave this match the highest rating of the night. I thought they had the best story, obviously the build-up since SummerSlam. I gave this match 4.5 blunts because it was that good. You know what I mean? I would have given it 5. I thought they, could leave room for improvement. There could have been a little bit more, but these ladies did everything that they could do to make, a fire WrestleMania match, and that's exactly what they did. Now moving on to Seth versus To Be Determined, but we know who To Be Determined ended up being. It ended up being Cody, say my last name, bitch, Rhodes. And yeah. I mean, like I said, the show just kept going up from where it was. I thought this match was crazy. These dudes, there was obviously no story. Seth was telling a story by himself, just trying to get to WrestleMania. But everybody knew who his opponent was going to be. Thank God Shane McMahon didn't show up in any capacity. Very happy about that. But yeah, these two went at it. Hard-hitting match. Did all the greatest hits. Seth, went through, all his moves, Sling Blade, he did all his, got all his offense in. Cody got all his offense in. I thought that there was no way that Vince would let Seth Rollins lose to Cody, being that Cody started the competition basically, and Seth was the first one, like, waving the flag for WWE, like, y'all suck over there, and WWE is the shit. Like, I just feel like Seth should have been rewarded for that, you know what I mean, in this situation, but I was wrong. Obviously, WWE has major plans for Cody, which is weird because Seth is better than Cody. I'm sorry. Seth is way better than Cody. So I'm like, I understand it's business, but you just, like, how's that going to work? Like, is Seth not going for the title now? Because at one point, he was, like, staring down Roman Reigns, and they were kind of like, maybe we'll be fighting for the title at some point down the road. Now, Cody skips over Seth, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like Kevin Owens should be fighting for a title at this point after the performance he had. It's like a lot of people, honestly, I'm gushing about this WrestleMania because this shit was fun. You know what I mean? It was hella fun and much needed for me. I needed a little fun this weekend. So, Laylo gives McMahon way too much credit. Seth was going to lose. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I just, I'm giving him credit for, like, defending his I just feel like he would, like, he's petty. I felt like that. I'm not giving him credit because I'm thinking that he would be petty. You know what I mean? But he's clearly not petty and just doing what the fans want because I would assume the people wanted, Cody to win. So I just thought Vince would be Vince and do some petty shit. Like, oh, yeah, bitch, I'm going to bury you. I'm going to sign you and bury you. You know what I mean? That's what I thought he was doing. But he wasn't. I thought this match was fire. The end was fire. Cody gave him 2 crossroads in a row, or 3 crossroads in a row, if I'm not mistaken, and knocked Seth lights out. I gave this match, I also gave this match 4.5 blunts. Because, yeah, I thought it was tied for the match of the night. I thought Bianca and Becky was a better story, better, but Seth and Cody probably had a little bit better wrestling, but both of them were 4.5 blunt matches, in my opinion. So then we move on to the dud of the night. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Sloppy match. Reminded me a lot of Charlotte's recent matches against Nia Jax and who else was she? Was it her match against Becky, that was a little slot. Like, it was like, I don't know what's going on with Charlotte. I don't know. I already know what's going on with Ronda. Ronda's just not, man. Listen, the tag match she had against Kurt Angle was fire. The triple threat with her and Becky and Charlotte was fire. The build to that was amazing. But Ronda still leaves a lot to be desired in the ring. She's clearly a rookie. The build to this sucked because of Ronda, because she sucks on the microphone. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, I don't know if she's babyface or heel half the time when she's talking. She sounds bored as shit every time she gets on the microphone. So, I don't know. It's hard to root for Ronda Rousey as a babyface. She would definitely be better served as a heel just based on her face. You know what I mean? She looks angry all the time, even when she's smiling. Look like she's forcing it. So, this match, they were, just chopping each other and striking each other. Lots of strikes and chops, and I think there was a natural selection that whiffed at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I could be thinking of a different time, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Ronda was doing her judo throws, which is a move I hate. Like, I just like whipping somebody's arm like that. I know that she's fine, whatever, but she's not hurting anybody. It doesn't even look good. You know what I mean? It's like, wrestling is supposed to look good. It's like ballet. At least you're going to do it. Like, I know she's doing real wrestling judo moves, but that shit just looks whack. Like, I'm going to drag you around by your arm. Like, okay. And the Piper's Pits didn't even look aggressive. They didn't look like she was turning enough or aggressive. None of that shit none of it looked good or sharp or anything. So I was just like, all right, it wasn't like the worst thing that I've seen, but it was definitely the dud of the night. You know what I mean? If it was a lowest ranked match, I gave this match 3 blunts, and I felt like I was being nice. You know what I mean? Honestly, just because it was WrestleMania and I was on a high. It was probably more. Actually, I'm a lower that. I'm just because I don't think it really is 3 blunts. I think it was more like 2.5, 2.75. And then we get to what Ronda Rousey was rumored to be mad about, but then came out and said she wasn't. But we got to the main event, which we did not predict because we didn't think this was going to happen. We had Stone Cold Steve Austin going up against Kevin Owens in an actual match because the KO show happened. Kevin Owens came out, hype as hell, introduced Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, he ain't even introduced. Well, he did kind of. He was talking shit about him. Stone Cold's music hit. He came out. And yeah, he sat down and Stone Cold did the whole thing with the crowd. How man, it's just so awesome because him and The Rock, man, that era of wrestler, they just knew what they were doing when it came to like getting reactions from the crowd because they didn't have to say shit. Like half the time they just looked at the crowd, he give them that look like, should I do something? Should I stun him right now? Should I just start beating his ass? And the crowd just starts going nuts. You know what I mean? And, it was, Kevin Owens was basically like just running him down in his face and shit. Like, yeah, man, I know you probably want to be from somewhere else. I mean, let's be honest. Texas does suck. Like, it is. It is what it is. Like, I know you much rather be from Canada, but you're not. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? You're old. Please don't pick a fight with me because if you do, I'm going to beat your ass. And then Kevin Owens was like, I actually tricked you. Because I didn't want to talk. I actually do want to fight. So if you're down to have a match, let's have a match. And Stone Cold asked the crowd, if y'all want to see me beat this sack of shit. I was like, oh shit, AEW. I was like, nah, WWE been spicing up the language lately because of AEW. So yeah, he agreed to the match, and they got a ref down there. And yeah, they had a match, and By God, what a fucking match. Like, this shit was fun as hell, man. It was stone cold. It was a stone cold match. Like, they stared off in the middle, just like The Rock and Stone Cold would do at the beginning of their matches. Then they just start throwing haymakers. And then that's how it started. And you thinking that it's going to last 2-3 minutes inside the ring. Whatever, he'll hit the stunner, blah, blah, blah. Kevin will tease hitting the stunner, won't get it. Owens or Austin will hit it. It'll be over by drink a couple beers, and then, move on with the night. No. We got like a 10-minute match that went all over the fucking arena. It had to last longer than 10 minutes. It left the fucking ring, came back to the ring. I got to check the match time on that. But, these guys started brawling. We got the Luthez press from Stone Cold. He started off by stomping a mud hole in him a couple times. You know what I mean? Doing the rabbit punches. I always call him the rabbit punch. He's like hitting him with this part of his fist. I don't know what that's called. He's like, I'm like, nigga, if you don't turn your hand in. But that's the Stone Cold punch, the classic Stone Cold punch. So, yeah, he was stomping a mud hole in him. I could just hear Jim Ross, in my head at that moment. I know Jim Ross was probably at home calling it in his head. So, yeah, this was fun. They brawled outside. Stone Cold threw Kevin over the barricade. They brawled into the crowd because it was a no-holds-barred match. So these guys fought through the crowd. Then we got into the audience, onto the concrete, and that's where things turned up a little bit because I don't think anybody expected Stone Cold Steve Austin to take a suplex on the concrete outside. Maybe in the ring. The mat, yeah, okay, maybe. But he took a suplex on the outside, an aggressive suplex, mind you. He's 57. He still looks great. Didn't take his shirt off. Came out with his knee braces, which I called. I said, if you come out with them knee braces on, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a real fight. So he came out with both knee braces on. And, it went down. So he got suplexed on the concrete. Kevin Owens battled back. They battled up to the stage. And then Kevin Owens, he suplexed Kevin Owens on the stage twice on like both sides of the stage. So Kevin Owens got 2 suplexes. So Austin taking hella bumps at this point because if you don't know, your back hits the ground on a suplex too. So both y'all taking a bump. So he took a bunch of bumps. Then they got back to the ring. We got back to the ring, fighting a little more. KO fucking hit the stunner on Stone Cold for the motherfucking close ass 3-2 count. I was like, holy shit. And it kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, shit, no, wait a minute. What's happening? 1, 2, oh my God, thank God. So, Stone Cold kicked out. And then a couple seconds later, he got up and hit Kevin with the stunner and got the 1, 2, 3. Still did a great pin. Looked like he could have one more run, man, honestly. Like, if Goldberg could do it, I don't know why Stone Cold couldn't do it, but he doesn't appear to be having any extra run. I think this weekend was his final go-away weekend. I almost wish that night was just the end of it when we go get to night 2. But that was the end of night 1. Phenomenal night 1. I mean, I was on a high at the end of the night. Got to watch night 1 with my son, his first WrestleMania. That was awesome. Obviously, watching it with Wow Nation was fun, and Trav over here. So, I gave the Stone Cold and I told y'all, just for nostalgia purposes, this was not match of the night. It wasn't the best match, but I'm giving it 5 blunts, man. It's the only time that I'll be able to ever give a Stone Cold Steve Austin match a blunt rating. So that. It is what it is. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I grew up watching this dude. So, and he gave us a hell of a performance, over-delivered in so many different ways. So there's no way that I'm giving Austin anything less than 5 blunts for his official retirement match. You know what I mean? Damn, he could have came out there for 3 minutes and everybody would have still been happy. And they went that hard in making sure we got a fire match. So, no complaints here at all. So we can move on to night 2. See, we got night 2 here. Yep, bong, bong, bong. So night 2, the shit didn't go down. I mean, damn. I don't even know how it was almost a perfect show. Why is this on here? I'm sorry. I didn't know that was still there. I don't know. How do I hide that? But it's not. Oh, it's right here. I was like, where the hell? Okay, there's no Ronda versus Charlotte on this night, obviously. But yeah, so this was kind of crazy. Because I expected shit. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I just didn't expect this show. I said it multiple times last night. I was like, this is the most consistent WrestleMania I've ever watched. Like there was no filler. Like usually we have like cool down shit. Like there's a lot of cool down like even title matches sometimes, like the women's tag team matches and all these things, they just feel like cooler matches. And I didn't feel like anything was a cooler match at WrestleMania this year, which is odd. Maybe you could say New Day and versus Sheamus and Ridge was the closest thing we got to a filler match. I would agree with you there. But I think that was just time constraints, and they should have been on night one, but the WWE decided to run an hour and a half worth of video packages for night two. Fucking stupid. But yeah, man. All right, so let's start RK Bro versus Alpha Academy versus Street Profits. I mean, what the fuck? First of all, Martin Luther King Jr. Is now Montez's Ford's tag team partner. They had a dream of being Raw tag team champions. But unfortunately for them, that dream did not come true. They started the match off hella aggressively. Montez he backhand the shit out of fucking Chad Gable. Chad Cable came in with the he smacked the taste out of that boy's mouth. Oh my God. I was like, damn, is he auditioning to be a pimp? Like, I didn't know. It was so clean and so flush. Then Riddle kicked him in his mouth. I was like, okay, he should be sitting down for a minute. But the match was great. Everybody, hit their greatest hits. It's WrestleMania. Everybody's going to get a little offense in. Chad Gable, got his suplexes in. Otis got a big splash in. Dawkins came in, got to run wild, do one of my favorite moves, the underhook, the double underhook, motherfucking neck breaker, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? Montez hit the frog splash. Like, everybody got their shit in. But it wasn't good enough because RK Bro, the synergy between, and if I was smart, I would have picked this because they deserve this win. They've been carrying the tag division all year, and they've been great. So sometimes these people work this hard all year to get that WrestleMania moment, and the WrestleMania moment is them standing up with the titles at the end of the match. So if I was thinking clearly, I probably would have picked RK Bro, which none of us did, by the way. Everybody picked Street Profits. I picked Alpha Academy for some reason, just because you're thinking there's going to be some title changes on Mania, and there was, just not here. But RK Bro, they did the double draping DDTs, which was a dope moment. Like they did it, like it was just a bunch of moves like that they did, together, which just makes them look even more like a team. Glad they're not breaking up anytime soon. At least I hope. Because even from their entrance and, the way Brandy puts the belt on Riddle's shoulder, pats him on the shoulder like, yo, we got this. You know what I mean? And they just, it's working. Don't break them up is all I'm saying. You need a tag team division. Don't fuck this up for a fucking 6-month feud that everyone, you could do that 2 years, 3 years from now if you want. But anyways, yeah, they hit beautiful RKOs to end the match. Riddle hit his off the top rope because Montez was like perched on the top rope about to do another top rope move, it looked like. And Riddle came up from the outside, jumped on the ring apron, and then jumped on the top rope and just dragged Montez down with him and hit him with the RKO from the top rope. That shit was beautiful and looked painful. And then Randy caught Chad Gable doing some kind of dive to somewhere. I don't know where he was diving to, but he dove right into Randy's arms. And he caught an RKO off the top rope too. And they got the 1, 2, 3 for the dub. So RK Bro are still your Raw Tag Team Champions after a phenomenal, no, I don't want to say phenomenal, excellent, we'll get to the phenomenal later, the excellent opening match to start night 2. Man, shit was fire. Did you notice that the 3D snakes, the Viper snake, kept trying to attack the Riddle snake? I did not notice that. Hopefully that's not some foreshadowing. I think it was just two snakes fighting. I did like the entrance. I didn't notice that, though. I didn't notice that. Yeah. After that, we had Bobby Lashley going up against the Giant Omos. And yeah, this match lasted not very long. It was what it was supposed to be. A great moment for Bobby Lashley, a very deserved moment for Bobby Lashley, who also put the company on his back for a little while during the pandemic, after the pandemic. He's had a great run as one of your top guys, so you got to make him look strong. You can't feed him to Amos, who has no future as far as like great stories are concerned, because he's just a giant. There's only so many things you could do with the Giants. They're a spectacle more than they are. Like, if they're in a one-on-one match, they're more than likely going to beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10. So it's hard to tell stories with guys like that, but he did face Bobby Lashley, who is the almighty. And after Bobby Lashley bumped around for him a little bit, couldn't get him down, he did a smart thing. I think he hit him in the leg or something first, but then he speared him from behind when he wasn't looking, so he couldn't brace himself. So he got him down to the ground after spearing him, and then he's all loopy or whatever. And standing up, he hit him with another spear from the front to get the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, Bobby Lashley got his WrestleMania moment over the Giant, which was deserved, like I said, and needed. I think once she took the title off of Bobby, Elimination Chamber, because of the injury, they had to bring him back and give him something. So I'm glad they didn't forget about Bobby Lashley, is what I'm saying. I didn't even get a blunt tag match of blunt rating. I gave that match 4 blunts. The Raw tag team match, I gave it 4 blunts. Lashley versus Amos, I gave 3.5 blunts, because I thought that it did the job of what it was supposed to do, and Lashley got his WrestleMania moment, which I was happy about. Amos was robbed. Amos, however you say his name, was robbed. Man, you tripping. He was on WrestleMania. You know what I mean? He should be very, very happy. He was security for Raw Underground like a year and a half ago. Let's not forget. You know what I mean? He was beating jobbers. You know what I mean? It's like he was on WrestleMania. He should be very, very happy. Then next up, we had the most fun shit of the night for me, by far. This was the most fun shit of night 2. I don't know how. I don't even know how KGM came out and predicted that this was about to be match of the night, like before the match even really got started. And he was almost right. Damn it. This shit was hilarious. I can't even sit up here and remember every single thing that happened, but Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn was one of the most fun things I've ever experienced as a professional wrestling fan. I don't know how many times y'all saw me pop during the watch along, just like, oh shit, it's another one. Like, it was one thing, like this shit escalated and escalated and escalated. Wee Man came from under the ring at one point. The other dude who wears the thong, I don't remember all their names. The other dude who wears the thong and always rubs up on people, he was there putting Sammy in the corner. Sammy was kicking the shit out of people. Wee Man body slammed Sami Zayn. A perfectly executed chef's kiss body slam. He picked him up and held him like this. I'm thinking about to do the world's strongest slam. That's easy money. You just got to slam him down on the ground. He spun the man in a perfectly, it was beautiful. I was like, how did he keep his head from hitting the ground? He's this tall. That little motherfucker strong as shit. So, the match needed Steve-O. We talked about that last night. It ain't the same without Steve-O, but it was hilarious. At one point, they did some amazing camera work because Sammy was being tortured outside the ring and he was stumbling all over the place. And a giant hand apparatus, like a hand the size of, I don't know, this big. Yeah, I mean, just came out and smacked. That was probably my favorite thing that happened during the match because it came out of nowhere. The camera didn't give it away. He was just running. He turned around and it was just a giant hand in his face. That shit was fucking hilarious. They had a table with mouse traps on it, which wasn't even bad because it was really just foreshadowing for the giant fucking mouse trap that they ended up trapping him in. They did so much shit to Sammy's balls. I'm pretty sure he's not having kids at this point. He's probably just conceited. He's not having children. They kicked him in the balls with a fake foot. They grabbed his balls with tongs. They electrocuted his balls with a taser. It was too much. It was too much, but it was fucking amazing, yo. I can't even I don't know what to say about this. I didn't expect it. Like the way, I mean, first of all, it started off just by Sammy running from one corner and just haluva kicking Johnny Knoxville dead in the jaw. That's how the match started. Like it should have been over in 5 seconds. The kick in the 1, 2, 3, because he kicked his head off. But yeah, after that, all the shenanigans started. Oh man, this match was so much fun. You cannot do a shenanigans celebrity match better than what the fuck they did here for this shit. Cause I was fully skeptical. Like, I'm not a jackass dude. Like some stuff I don't like watching people get kicked in the dick and all that shit just for fun. You know what I mean? It's like it's sometimes I'm like, it's too much, man. I don't know. It's like not my thing. So, I was fully skeptical, like, it's gonna be something stupid. But man, it was stupid, but in the best possible way that stupid could be. I enjoyed every single thing that happened in this match. Didn't even care that the giant mousetrap wouldn't snap until he actually came over and hit. I guess that was the plan C he had, and before the mousetrap actually snapped and trapped Sami Zayn underneath it. But yeah, you got all those contraptions. Some ain't gonna go right. It wasn't nothing like Hulk Hogan trying to make a firebomb against Ultimate Warrior. It wasn't a botch like that. Yeah, I mean, the shit still works. This match got 4.5 blunts for me. Yeah, lucky I'm not giving it 5. I don't even know why I'm not giving it 5. Probably just, I don't know. I just feel like it's Johnny Knoxville. I can't give it 5 blunts. But damn it, this shit was amazing. It was so good. It was so good. I'm actually gonna watch it again after I get off this show. I gotta watch it again. That shit was too much fun. Well, I'm gonna watch Fizz do the news first, then I'm gonna watch the show again. But yeah, after that we had the women's tag team match. We had all 4 of the teams. We had Shayna and Natalya, who were my pick. Then we had the tag team champions, Zelina and Carmella. We had Sasha and Naomi. And then we had Liv and Rhea. And standard stuff, man. Everybody performed excellent. Ain't too much to say about, this match. It was a standard fatal 4-way women's tag team match, whatever you want to call that. Everybody, there was no botches. Everybody got everything in clean. Liv Morgan had a little moment where she got to run wild. Rhea Ripley didn't really get much in. I felt like she should have done more, but I felt like Rhea Ripley wasn't really there. Shayna and Natalya had a moment where you thought they might win. They were, everybody had a moment where you thought they could take it. But ultimately, who most people probably assume would take it was the newly formed tag team of Sasha Banks and Naomi. Mainly because Sasha Banks only loses at WrestleMania. Fuck, she needed a win. Like, she needed a win. Even if it's a tag team title win, she needed a win. I wouldn't mind seeing this team split up and have a feud. You know what I mean? Sasha versus Naomi. Fire matches. Fire matches. Fire matches. The most fire matches. You want a feud right there? Sasha and Naomi. Sasha is the heel. Naomi is the baby. The promo battles. The shit talk. Man, it's just like, you got to do it. You got to do it. So hopefully that's where they go with that, breaking those ladies up. Because as a tag team, she needs a single win at WrestleMania, but Sasha ain't done. She got a couple more years, maybe a few more. I don't know what she trying to do with family and all those different things. But even if she want to have a family, obviously Becky and Ronda proved that you could do both. So, yeah, I don't Sasha, she deserves every good thing that she gets because she is great. So I'm not going to disagree with that. I gave this match 3.5 blunts. I thought it was standard. Pretty good match. Nothing great. But it was a good match. It didn't take me out of the show. I was still like, yo, this match is pretty fucking good while I was watching it. So no complaints for the women's tag team match there. So moving on to AJ Styles. Who is AJ Styles? I don't know who that is. Let me fix that. AJ Styles versus Edge. First of all, Edge's entrance, ridiculous. I guess the Brood is coming back. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Edge was on a big platform, big stage on a throne, looking evil as fuck, looking like the devil on a throne and shit. With the fire, looked like he stole everything, the Undertaker's whole gimmick. You know what I mean? He was just like, yo, you done, right? You finished? You sure? I mean, I know you said never say never, but I'm about to the outfit too? Cool. So so he basically came out as the Undertaker, and the entrance was fire. Literally, it was fire. But the match was crazy. It was hard hitting. AJ came out with a scratch on his face. He was bleeding already before the match. I don't know if he got beat up backstage, or somebody said he was shaving. Might have been shaving. Something, but yeah, he had a cut on his face. He was already bleeding. So the match was already, it was already fire and blood before the bell even rang. So, it was dope. It was dope. These guys, went hard at each other. I thought that AJ would win, but the way it turned out, I'm happy that he didn't. First of all, the match was crazy. Everybody did everything. Like, WrestleMania. Everybody's going to get all their shit in. Like, Edge was wrestling like a super heel, though. Obviously, he's more of the heel Edge. It wasn't a no DQ match or anything, so they kept it clean. But Edge was definitely wrestling more aggressive, as far as being in his heel persona. AJ Styles was being super aggressive as well, though, because he was the pit bull and he was angry. He didn't know why Edge was doing what he was doing, so he was riled up himself. So the match was intense. It definitely was wrestling match of the night. These guys went at it. I mean, these are two legends, two first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, Edge is already in there. He went in the day after he retired, basically. So, yeah, you got what you expected. It reminded me of the match the previous night between Cody and Seth, as far as the wrestlers wrestling match. These guys doing the heel and babyface personas very well as far as the storytelling during the match. And speaking of storytelling, the match got really interesting when it looked like AJ Styles was about to get the dub. He was setting up for a phenomenal forearm, which was, already a tricky spot because he had a shoulder injury during the match. He was playing up a shoulder injury, and he couldn't really use it to like springboard and get up on the ring ropes and all that. So he's shaking himself off, trying to balance himself on the top rope. Then out of nowhere, Damian Priest with a beard shows up. Thank God he has a beard. He looks like a man now and not a woman who wears mascara. But it's like, yeah, he came out with the beard and he didn't do nothing. He just looked at AJ, but it was enough to distract AJ because AJ's like, why are you here? I didn't call you here, so I don't know what's happening right now. And yeah, it was enough to get the distraction to where Edge was able to spear him off of the top rope or whatever when AJ tried to jump off. And yeah, that was that. 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, Damian Priest got in the ring and got on one knee and worshiped the devil, basically. So we're going to get the Hill faction from Edge, which was rumored to be happening. Shout out to whoever threw that rumor out there, whoever got that inside information. But yeah, Edge is definitely clearly starting a stable because this is not a tag team situation. There's more people to be added. Yeah, I really want to know who else is going to be a part of this stable because me and Trav could not think of anybody. I said Mustafa Ali, but I don't think that's going to happen just because he's fed up with the company unless he thinks this might be a way back to the limelight. I don't know, but I really can't think of anybody. Drew Gulak, maybe grow his hair out or something. I don't fucking know. I just always say Drew Gulak. I really like Drew. I think Drew Gulak needs more love. You know what I mean? I know he's training and people and all that shit in the back, but whatever. What other gothic guy there are no other gothic guys. That's what I'm saying. They're all in AEW. It wasn't been easy in AEW. It was like 7, 8 people he could have recruited. But in WWE, there's really nobody. Rhea Ripley should join. Rhea Ripley would be a good shout, actually. Rhea Ripley she would fit very, very well with the look. You know what I mean? She would definitely fit with the look. And you get her away from the tag team thing. She could be a singles wrestler and go after the women's title because that's what she should be doing. You know what I mean? It's like she shouldn't be. I like the tag team with her and Liv. They look like a tag team way more than her and Nikki Ash, who wasn't on WrestleMania. Crazy, right? Nikki Ash after this whole transformation and didn't even end up on Mania. That's crazy. But yeah, AJ Styles and Edge, match of the night for me. I'll probably maybe match of the weekend. But I gave it 4.5 blunts. Still the highest rating that we gave for any match. I gave it 4.5 blunts. Thought the match was fire. Then we had the replacement match from last night. I ain't about to talk about this match for a long time because it wasn't really much. This shit could have been on Monday Night Raw, honestly. We had Sheamus and Rich Holland versus The New Day. Fun match. It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It was, like I said, Monday Night Raw tag team match is what it was. There was nothing special outside of New Day's ring gear. Fire. They came out in Big E's ring gear with the wrestling onesie and I called it a onesie, whatever it's called. And the Big E's jackets. They came out dressed like Big E. Xavier had cornrows, which looked great on him. You know what I mean? I think they should keep that look. I think they should always dress like Big E. Now that I saw that, they pulled the straps down at one point. You know what I mean? They came out and basically were Big E. Did a couple of his moves or whatever, and they had like his catchphrases on the outfit. It was dope. I love New Day's ring gear. They never miss with the ring gear for real. But yeah, they ended up losing because Butch was like running around the ring like an angry little pit bull the whole time. He was just mad for no reason, smacking the tables and shit. I'm like, who's this little fucking angry little bastard? If y'all don't get this little somebody don't slow this motherfucker down. Where's his doctor at? Somebody get this nigga his medicine ASAP. He's off the rails. But he did cause a bit of a distraction that helped Sheamus and Ridge get the win. Sheamus was just bro kicking the fuck out of everybody. He had boots for everybody. I mean, it wasn't get these hands, it was get these feet from Sheamus. So he was kicking everybody in the face. They ended up getting 1, 2, 3. I gave the match 3.25 blunts. One of the lowest rated matches of the night, probably the lowest rated match of the weekend. But it wasn't anything I would say was the guy's fault, the wrestler's fault. It was just the spot they were put in. The match getting cut, then being put on the next night. You only getting 5 to 10 minutes to do what you can do. Make it look good. They made it look as good as they could. 3.25 is still a really good score. So that's the lowest score on a WrestleMania, damn it. Shit. I'll take that any day, unless every match is a 3.25. Then that would be a bad WrestleMania. But then we had, speaking of off the rails. Now, I know the name Butch definitely fits his new character. Like, it works for me. I already forgot Pete Dunne. Like, he's Butch now. He's Butch now. It's all good. Like, it was stupid to change his name, but I get if he's going to be playing that character, then he needs to be Butch, because Pete Dunne was like a different guy. You know what I mean? He's acting like a Butch now. But all right, Gruss is over here already wilding. But we're gonna talk about how the show went off the rails for a little bit. First, it skyrocketed into the stratosphere because we had Pat McAfee coming out to one of the most amazing entrances ever. And I'm talking about the cheerleaders. Fuck that. I've seen cheerleaders before. But the story, there was so much. It was like, I didn't know that he was like, his dream was to like be a wrestler. I didn't know that as soon as he retired from football at 29, which is early for most people to retire from a sport where they get paid millions of dollars, he immediately tried to become a pro wrestler. I didn't know when he was doing commentary, he was like, yo, I'm pretty sure I should be on that side of the ropes instead of this side. I just didn't know all these things. I didn't know his dream was to actually become a professional wrestler. So like I said last night, it's just like The Miz. Like, watching that shit come to fruition for people who it could have very easily not come to fruition for, because it's not something they actually trained at from, when they were a kid or anything. They weren't amateur wrestlers or anything like that. Like, I just feel like it's just a dope story, man. I really want to become a professional wrestler, and I'm going to do everything I can to get there. And then you get there and you're at the pinnacle. the absolute pinnacle. He was the pre-main event match and shit. Had one of the most memorable moments of the entire weekend. And that includes what he did during the match, because we've seen him execute some of these things before, but it was still fire to see it happen again, because we only get it once a year, once every other year, however many. He's only had 3 matches in the company. So, man, first of all, obviously they started out, he's doing suplexes. First of all, his punches look great. You know what I mean? They look like real punches, even realer than some of the actual wrestlers. Punches look great. He was laying them in. They hit a couple moves. He hit a Hurricane Rana that could have been better. He kind of grabbed him by the shoulders, but Theory sold it, so it didn't look messy. It was still great. But obviously the move of the night, and I'm pretty sure he did this in the cage match in NXT in War Games. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was in the match he had against Adam Cole. But yeah, he ran up to the top rope and did this. Well, first he did the backflip off the top rope over Austin Theory, landed on his feet, and Austin Theory was still on the ropes, and so he just jumped to the top rope, like just full vertical. I don't know how high that is. It's pretty tall, since the top rope comes up to a lot of wrestlers' chests. So he jumped on top of a person, basically. He literally jumped over a human being, landed on the top rope, caught Austin Theory, and hit him with a superplex. That shit was ridiculous. The match was fucking fire. I don't even know what to say. Like, Vince McMahon was on commentary. Obviously, I should mention that. Out there making faces, looking old as hell. Foreshadowing what was about to happen in a minute, Lord Jesus. But yeah, Pat McAfee ended up getting the dub, man. He ended up getting the win. I was hella surprised. Yeah, he got it. I think it was a roll-up. He got it with a roll-up, snuck the win in. But then after that, Vince McMahon was not happy, obviously, not happy at all. So he's walking away with Austin Theory fronting like he's gonna take off his jacket. He's like, "Nah, I ain't about to fight you, boy." And Pat McAfee like, "What? You want to fight me?" I'm like, "No, Pat. He signs your checks. Like, why are you gonna? Don't fight the boss. That's like the last guy. No, if he wants to fight you, just call HR. I guess he owns them too, but." No, it's a corporate environment. He doesn't own HR. Call HR, man. What are you doing? Your boss is threatening you. You should sue. Like, what do you get all the money? You get more than FanDuel gave your ass. Yeah, I mean, fucking around. But yeah, so Vince kept, peacocking like he was gonna fight, and then Austin Theory like, get in the ring, get in the ring. I ain't scared of your old bitch ass. So Vince McMahon like, oh yeah, bitch. Oh yeah. And then Austin Theory jumped in and attacked her from behind. And then Vince McMahon got in the ring like, haha, yeah, bitch, I'm about to whoop your ass. And then for some reason, he let him get up and they started a match. I thought Austin Theory snuck him so he could, beat him up. But they, actually started a match, with a referee. Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where everything just went bad. And I mean bad in not the good way. I know some people enjoyed this. This took me completely out of everything. Because after that man, Pat McAfee, just had that performance against an actual superstar, Vince came and buried everybody. Both of them. Buried both of them. Austin Theory just lost to this nigga. Vince McMahon came in and tossed Austin Theory all over, or tossed Pat McAfee all over the ring. Clotheslined him. They barely touched him. Fucking Pat McAfee bumping all over the place. It was funny. They weren't taking themselves too seriously. I get it. You still need to build Austin Theory up to be a legitimate superstar. And Pat McAfee has so much credibility in the ring right now. It's just like, do you want to play with that? Do you want to play with that? Because Vince McMahon was really just beating his ass. He was just like, Pat McAfee would get up like, I'm going to get you this time. And then Vince would just hit him again, and he would do nothing. I'm just like, if you don't beat this old-ass man up, I'm sorry. I was with elderly violence last night. Vince McMahon deserved to get his ass whooped, and he should have got his ass whooped. There was no reason for him not to get his ass whooped after Pat McAfee just whooped a 25-year-old's ass with actual muscles left. He buried 2 people in 3 minutes. I don't even know. Why? That shit took me out of it. But then some guys in the chat were like, yo, this is a perfect time for Austin to show up. And then as soon as y'all said that, whoever said it, I was like, you know what? That would be a good idea. And then it started feeling more and more like that's what actually was going to happen. Then I started being like, yeah, Austin's going to show up. That's the only thing that could fix this. That has to be what they're doing. Somebody is showing up. But then Vince McMahon. They play Austin Theory's music because Vince was holding his hand up like they were celebrating. And Vince jumped and was like, oh no, who's here? Who's here? He's coming. Oh no, I'm worried. Oh, that's your music. Oh, okay. Totally gave away the fact that, somebody was about to come out, because why would he react like that? He wrote the show. He knows what's about to happen. So that shit was funny as hell, man. I was like, oh no, Vince, no. Don't do that. But he did that. And yeah, man, I thought that was pretty fucking hilarious, if you ask me. Stone Cold came out for the second night in a row, and it just kept getting worse because I mean, at this point, it was great. Stone Cold came out. It was like, all right, we're doing this to have fun. I get it. It made sense. It was just like, damn, did he need to do that? I think Austin Theory could have just jumped Pat McAfee after the match, after taking the L, because he was mad. Vince could have came in, got a couple stomps in while Austin's beating him down, and then Stone Cold come out to make the save. Like, you don't need to have a match with... And yes, let's talk about it. Stone Cold, I guess, like I said last night, they were trying to rekindle that old flame from the first stunner to the boss ever, which was the previous worst stunner cell of all time. Oh boy, did they top that. By a long, long country mile did they top that. Oh my God. I don't know what Vince was they were acting like they were going to have the beer. Same drill. They did the toast. And Austin did the whole fake kick because Vince is old. You can't kick him for real. So he did the whole fake kick. And Vince sold it too well. He sold it so well, he couldn't actually get up. Or maybe the sip from the beer got him drunk instantly. I don't know if he doesn't drink. Yeah, Linda's was the worst ever until last night. It is not the worst anymore. That last night, Vince 100% topped Linda McMahon. He topped Vince's original stunner. Who else? The Rock had a couple weird stunners cells that were just too much. But he was doing it on purpose at least. There was a couple other bad ones in there, but it was just like, oh my God. It was like he bent over, kinda. And he didn't bend over enough, so because he bent over, but then he stumbled back, so his head wasn't in the right spot for Stone Cold to grab it, so Stone Cold didn't grab his head the first time. Stone Cold's trying to back up to grab his head, and Vince just keeps stumbling backwards. He stumbles backwards so much that he falls against the ropes. Thank God the ropes were there, because if the ropes weren't there, he would have just fell on his ass. Then it would have been a complete botch, but it was already a complete botch at that point. He bounced off the ropes. Austin still could barely even grab his head. And then when he did stun him, Vince just kind of crumpled to the ground. He ain't even like... Oh my God, it was so horrible. It was the worst stunner I have ever seen in my fucking life. But yeah, I still got to give this match, because the match was fire. I'm giving the match 4 blunts, because Pat McAfee and Austin Theory killed it during the match. The post-match angle was what it was. It was the sports entertainment. It made me angry at first. It made me sad. And then I got happy again, and then I got sad again. So it was just the roller coaster of emotions, but it was sports entertainment, so I'm not mad at any of it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we had the main event of the night. We had Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I don't know what to think about this match. They've had better matches, right? I feel like they've had better matches. I feel like the match at WrestleMania 32 was better. Which one did Seth run in and steal the title? I felt like that match was better. I feel like they've had better matches. The ending was very abrupt. But these two kind of just have their 5 moves of doom. And they hit the moves. Like it was good. It was really good. But it wasn't special. You know what I mean? It wasn't special. It didn't like send me home like, oh, that was the greatest main event of all time. I don't know. I think Roman dislocated his shoulder, so they went straight to the finish. Yeah, it looked like a couple people messed up their shoulder, but it did look like Roman had to pop his shoulder back in at some point during the match, which is a painful motherfucking experience. But they still got a lot of time in. Not a whole lot of time. They probably went like 15 minutes or something like that. I would imagine the match went, maybe 20. But yeah, it just ended abruptly. It was a couple Superman punches in there. It was like, then a spear, and then another spear, and then it was over. And it kind of, I don't know. It didn't do it for me, but it was good. So I don't want to be too hard on it. I can't be too hard on it. It was a good WrestleMania main event. I don't know, man. And I hope I'm not being too mean or wrong about this, but I just felt like it didn't really do it for me all the way. And I keep saying that. I don't know. I just felt like I've seen them have better matches. They were bleeding at MSG. I know that wasn't a match, that was an angle, but it was just like, I don't know. Maybe the shoulder injury did have a part to play in it. Who knows? I'm interested to find out, hear more in the next few days about what happened and why the match ended what seemed like so abruptly, similarly to the Becky Lynch WrestleMania match when she got the title. Yeah, it's a weird way to end WrestleMania, but if there was an injury involved, I could understand it a little bit more. So we'll see. I gave the main event 3.5 blunts. Good main event. But yeah, AJ Styles and Edge, Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn, the triple threat tag team match, and Pat McAfee and Austin Theory definitely all showed they ass last night. Not literally, but they showed off. They showed out. They showed up and they showed out for sure. And WrestleMania as a whole, I guess I could do the math. Give me a second. I did not do the math, and I changed some numbers, so it's going to take a minute. All right, so let's go back to night 1. We got an NA. We got 3.5. Let me do this faster. All right, 8.5. Then we got 4. We got 2.75. And we got 5.0. 24.25 blunts for night 1. That is an average of, how many matches were there? 1, 2, 3, 6 matches counted. So night 1 ended the night with a 4 on the dot. This is a 4.04, but round that down to a 4. Yeah, so excellent night 1. Obviously, that would be the highest silver badge possible, silver blunt possible. So yeah, great night 1. Then go back to night 2. Let's see what we got for night 2. Night 2, we got let's see, plus what's that? It's 8 3.2 plus that's 26.25. How many matches divided by 8? 26.25 divided by 8 is a 3.2. So not as good on the average for night 2, obviously. Oh no, it's a 3.3. I'm sorry. 3.29. That's a 3.3. So obviously another silver blunt. So let's see. 3.3. Yeah, so 3.65 for WrestleMania average 2 nights, but I wouldn't even average it for 2 nights. And I honestly feel like that rating is too low. I don't know. I'm tripping. I feel like that rating is too low. I don't know why. It's just the average of the matches. I feel like I gave all the matches very fair ratings. Like nothing got below a 3.5, but there was too many 3.5s. I guess maybe is why it's a 3.3 overall. How does that? No, that doesn't make any sense though. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. How is? I guess something's not right. Hold on, let me do night 2 again. My math might be off. 4 plus 3.5 plus 4.5 plus 3.5 plus 4.5 plus 3.25 plus 4.0. I was off. That's why. I was like, wait a minute. Something ain't right. Okay. This makes way more sense. This makes way more sense. All right, so it was 30.75 blunts for night 2. So that's a way better score. Okay. 30.75 divided by 8. 3.8. There we go. Okay. My math was off. Sorry. I was trying to add them and then add. I was doing the math in my head and fucked it up. All right, so that's a 3.85 for night 2. That's way better. Way better. That makes more sense. Okay. I was like, that don't make no sense. There's only one match below a 3.3, so how's the score at 3.3? That don't make no sense. But yeah, so I was wrong. It's a 3.85. Another great night of WrestleMania. So yeah, I enjoyed this WrestleMania more than I have a lot of WrestleManias. The crowd was definitely an epic 5. We don't do the crowd and stuff for pay-per-views, but yeah, the crowd was definitely on fire. Commentary was crazy. Shout out to Byron Saxton's suit. Listen, matter of fact, I got to find a picture of that suit because that suit was ridiculous. It was diamonds and gold. His suit was diamonds and gold. I don't even know who made that jacket, but Byron Saxton, I need it. That jacket was too fire, bro. The whole suit was fire. Corey Graves' suit was fire, too. Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention that Pat McAfee did the whole Rock thing. He did commentary while he was beating the shit out of Pat McAfee. It's like, I'm beating his ass. That shit was funny. Shout out to Pat McAfee, man. But shout out to you guys for hanging out all weekend. Make sure you guys lock in for the news, which I'm sure Physics will be jumping on here soon and doing. The WrestleMania, man. It's WrestleMania weekend. I know everybody's gonna be locked in for WrestleMania Monday, or Monday, Raw after WrestleMania, I should say. Yeah, and it's gonna be fun to watch tonight. I won't be live streaming tonight. I'll actually be on the road watching. But yeah, man. Saxton Drip was on God mode last night, 100%. Saxton is like, he's definitely a well-dressed dude. Dude could dress his ass. His suits is always mean, but last night was special. Like, that suit was special. You know what I mean? Like, nobody got to know. You walk in with that suit, you leaving with the bitches. Like, it ain't no question. You leaving with a couple bad ones. A couple. Shit. So, shout out to Byron. Shout out to everybody that took part in WrestleMania weekend. Everybody, and I do mean everybody, man. The production team putting together some fire entrances. The entrances weren't overly elaborate as they have been sometime, but that I'm okay with that. The CGI stuff I love. Roman Reigns, after he won, them showing him towering over the entire Texas State AT&T Stadium. That was, I mean, gee, you want to make a superstar. He's already a superstar, but Lord Jesus, like, that's like, he's talking about God mode. Like, he's literally had his CGI, like, doing his pose, standing over the biggest football stadium, like, looking down on us like we were peasants. It was great. What they did with the CGI. I know the people in this arena can't see that, but it looked great on TV. Sasha's Lamborghini. That was a Lamborghini, wasn't it? I knew it was a Lamborghini. What Lamborghini is that, though? I thought it was the Spider. It's not a Spider, though. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? I don't know what what model that is. That joint is I've seen it a lot recently in like videos and stuff like. I've seen that car a lot. But yeah, that Sasha coming out in the lime green lamb, that shit was beautiful. Yeah, man, it was just a fun ass WrestleMania, man. I had a very enjoyable time watching it. Johnny Knoxville, man, fucking shocked. All the celebrities. I don't consider Pat McAfee a celebrity, especially now. I know he's been training for years. Like, he's a wrestler at this point. But yeah, Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul, excellent performances as far as the celebrity involvement. Bad Bunny and those guys last year set the bar high. And I think this is what we're going to get. If you're going to be a part of WrestleMania as a celebrity, you better be extra hilarious like Johnny Knoxville, or you better be very, very talented in the ring and be able to hold your own like a Bad Bunny or a Logan Paul. So Knoxville match of the weekend. You going to die on that hill, huh, KGM? Knoxville match of the weekend. I mean, it got the highest rating of the weekend. I mean, I can't argue with it. You know what I mean? It's the only match. I mean, it was not the only match, but no match got a higher rating, I don't think. Did any match get 4.75? I don't think so. Well, I take it back. Stone Cold and Kevin Owens got a nostalgia 5.0. If I was actually rating the match, it would have probably got like a 3.5. But nostalgia wise and over delivering, it's getting a 5. I'm not giving Stone Cold anything less than a 5 because I don't want a stunner. So, you know what I mean, that's what we gonna do there. So yeah, man, great WrestleMania all around. Very impressed with WWE's production and storytelling, putting this entire night together. There was no lulls at any point during the show. They did the match order perfectly. The first night, they just gave us all the matches that we didn't think we would care about first. They were like, all right, so y'all don't care about this. All right, we'll just get these out the way. So the last 3-4 matches are just going to be just all the money. You know what I mean? So the way they set the shows up, easing us into it, and not really easing us into. We thought we were being eased into it, but it was really just hitting the ground running and having some over delivering off the break, and then just going up from there. So once again, I'm impressed with WrestleMania this year. One of my favorite WrestleManias ever that I've enjoyed. WrestleMania should be 2 nights going forward forever. There should never be another one-night WrestleMania. Save that for SummerSlam. It's cool. One-night SummerSlams. SummerSlam should probably be 2 nights as well. But just no. SummerSlam, 1 night. 1 night of SummerSlam. People got shit doing in the summer. WrestleMania, 2 nights forever. Should never change. It's exactly what it should be. WrestleMania weekend, Saturday and Sunday every year. So let's make this a thing going forward. I'm assuming it has to be because you can't do 6, 7, 8 hour WrestleManias. It's just not good for anybody. No one wants to work that long all day. It's too many things could go wrong. If something goes wrong, you don't have a chance to fix it for the next day. You know what I mean? 8 hour pay-per-view. It's just, we're seeing 8 hours. It's really like, for them, it's not even, and watching it is like a job. Facts. And I was there for the only 8 hour WrestleMania, and it was like a job. I didn't even see all the matches because I had to go and stretch and walk around. Like, there's no way you could sit in a seat for 8 hours worth of wrestling. It's impossible. You know what I mean? You don't even want to watch wrestling for 8 hours straight. It just doesn't seem healthy. Like, I'm sorry. So, this is a way better idea to do it this way. But that's it, guys. I'm going to get out of here so Fizz can hop on and do the news. Appreciate you guys hanging out all weekend, man. It's been great. It's been fun. I'll see y'all on the next one. Deuces.